Perfect. Yeah, this is nice.
All right. So yeah, we was talking about success in America. And the first piece was like eliminating want, you know, and then you was like kind of expounding on that. Then you said the second thing, you said rappers have a lot of needs and a lot
wants.
and wants, but you have to really differentiate like what's a need and what's a want.
And what is your requirement?
Right.
It's a different thing with that.
Right.
Okay. Requirements is really the center of satisfying the necessities in life. What do I require?
What do you require? Right.
What do I require? Water, good, clean drinking water, air, some kind of protein. You know, these kinds of things. B12. You know, what do I require? Okay. Once you know what you require, the world doesn't tempt you anymore. It does, and it's not even a fight. It's really, I am, my being is beyond your temptation.
Oh shit.
You know, my being is, meaning what you are offering, I don't require.
Oh shit.
Well, what you're offering, I don't need, I don't want. Now, you can even say, I do want what you're offering. I want that. I do want, but I put it in the category of want.
A want, right?
Okay, it's want. It's not a requirement and it's not a need. I want this. Now, most of the times you make the best decisions when you know this is my want, so I can let that go.
Right.
You know, that's a want. It's something I want. Right. You know, I want it badly, but it's not a requirement and it's not a need. Now, the needs. Now, want is usually your satisfying an emotional thing with a want, an ambitious thing with a want. A need usually has to do with responsibilities that you have toward other people.
Right.
Some people think they need a whole lot. No, you require a whole lot. What you need is needs of responsibilities, sacrifices, family. People you know that cause you to react in certain ways or do things in this way. I need to pay the mortgage. I need to pay the rent. I need to do these things. You do need to do these things. There's consequences to this.
All right, so let me ask you this, bro, because I'm in a crossroads.
Yes.
I've studied, you know, Egyptology, you know, moral science, Buddhism, and all that stuff, and I've lived a lot of my life in a quote-unquote minimalist state of mind because I'm like, what is it? The first Buddha says, you know, the cause of suffering is desire. You know what I mean? You want So now I'm at a point where I'm trying to find that balance because I have children. I know I want, you know, some nice things or whatever. And I think you agree.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to want.
No.
You know, and it's not a bad thing to have wants.
Right.
So based on that balance, what would you say are the steps? Because we're talking about Juneteenth, we're talking about freedom. A big thing of freedom and power is economics.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So what would be your first steps to really moving towards economic strength?
Make yourself valuable first. We put too much value in things outside of ourselves.
Correct.
Now, some of us have to, meaning that some of us weave good clothes. This is our value. The weaving is the real value, but you're going to produce something
the clothes.
The clothes is what it is. Some of us cook. The meal is the value. You're producing a meal. So put that aside. Not aside, but put that in its place.
In its perspective.
In its perspective. I'm talking about why does anyone need you?
Right. Period.
Okay, why does anybody need you? Why is anybody going to call on you?
What do you bring to the table?
What do you bring to the table that someone needs? How needed are you in life? And young people, this is really a lesson for young people to really learn this because it's at that very young age where you have to answer, you should be answering this question.
That's right.
In the world, what can I be called upon for? You go to school for it. You sit under an elder. You take an apprenticeship, an internship. How are you going to make yourself needed in the world? This is the basis of value.
Come on now, bro.
The basis, and I'll tell you something else that's right along with being needed is service. Service. Black people, we are the kings kings and queens of service.
Being of service. That's
being
right.
of service. But it's been turned against us now because we now don't want to serve because the service has been turned into slavery.
Right.
Has been turned into terrorism. Has been turned into all this other stuff.
Right.
So now you don't want to serve now that our community, we don't want to serve each other. And we're poor at serving other people now. Imagine, I mean, there's movies, I forgot the name of it, but like dudes in the White House, you know, you think they're sitting there, butlers, black people serving these white folks. But when you really get into it, this is a skill. To know how to serve dinner.
Wow.
To the point where people are calling for you.
Right.
I need you to serve me this dinner. What do you want? This ain't slavery. What do you want? Okay.
What do you want for that service?
What do you want for that service? Because people want you be surprised. Service is the key to value. What do you bring to the table? How needed are you? Now, if we could answer those two questions, if any one person in a family answers that question, the whole family's saved.
Wow.
The whole family's saved. If one person is called upon, if the world needs one family member,
gotcha,
the whole family's saved. Now, if you got 2, 3, 4, 5, we all
that is a good segue into my next question.
Come on,
my last question, because I know you got other things.
This is never ending.
Right. So, how important is other people to creating your value, creating your wealth? Kind of put it in perspective the importance of a team, be it 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like what's the value of having that, and how do you choose the right people to be? Like, talk a little bit about team and community and togetherness.
You know, that's
to create value.
This is a tough one because this is a tough one because teams don't really create value.
Okay.
And I say that hesitantly.
Okay.
There are successful teams. There are people who get together and make it happen.
But what makes you say,
But they're very far and few. They're very far and few. They're the Jordans.
Really?
They're Here's what I'm applying to. Usually, in a society like this, in a society like this that we live in, individualism is what rules.
What?
Independence is what you'll go faster being independent and not linking with a team. Now, this is old school colonial and imperial indoctrination. They don't want us grouping up. They don't want 3 black folk together. That's a problem. Okay. That's old school, embedded. Okay. Be an individual, you get ahead in life. So there's a part of me that answers the question realistically. Living in the United States, what's the importance of a team and your financial success or stability even in that sense? First, recognize that in the United States, teams don't really work. Individuals get to where they gotta go and then form a paid-for group.
So people who work for you for your goal, that's the team that you want to build.
You want.
Not that together we're going to walk together.
Not in the United States. Now, you mentioned Buddhism. China understands team. First of all, China understands it's not about me, it's about the state. They understand that. Now, we can look all day and say, oh, that's backwards, that's the communism, and that's that. Whatever you got, whatever. Okay? That's what it is. They're working for the state. And sometimes it's brutal. That's not a perfect system either. The state is imposing even how many kids you can have. Okay? But the Chinese are saying, no, China is what all of us agree. That China is what we are really
comes first.
Comes first. America ain't on that.
Nah.
So now in China, I mean, but then again, no,
capitalism versus communism.
Versus communism. I was about to say maybe you can get over in China. No, you got to be Chinese. So that's what it is. So we stuck here, with capitalism. And capitalism is not about group anything. It's about one dude owning and controlling everything. The means of labor, the product, everything. I want one aggregate, one corporation, one monopoly. This is why we have the antitrust, so we can break up monopolies and all that. They don't want groups. They can't take groups. Individuals. Now, that's only for the United States. That's why I make the China comparison in an economic sense. The reason China is kicking everybody's behind is because their people move as a unit. They don't have a self-interest. And that's not true, but in the economic philosophy of China.
In the grand scope.
In the grand scope, they don't have a self-interest.
Gotcha.
China's the interest. Everybody in America is like, no,
Gotcha.
my self-interest is America, please. Me.
Right.
Okay? And America pushes that.
That's wisdom right there. That's wisdom. That's knowing you're playing. That's knowing the board.
Right.
That you're playing on.
This is the exactly.
Cool.
This is the board.
Right. So if you want to win within the board or what have you, these are the rules that you.
These are the rules you play. I say this hesitantly.
The better you understand them, the more successful you'll be. I got it.
I say it hesitantly, but work by yourself. Educate yourself. Have a safe. Write a journal. Master yourself. And then you can help a whole lot of people.
Right.
Do a lot of things.
Right.
But starting with a group, if we are all not masterminds and proven masterminds, meaning our emotions are quelled, our self-interest is dead, we see the goal and we're going to get there. Who is that?
Who is that?
Who is that? Okay? Everybody got their own thing going.
Right.
So if you're in
because of the indoctrination
of the whole environment.
Right.
The whole environment says, look out for yourself. Don't look out for this dude over
Live
here.
alone, die alone.
Live alone, die alone.
Dolo clothing.
Dolo. You already run down the list. You already know. Right.
Right.
And it's funny you mentioned that's all cultural. They're telling you right there, this is what it is. It's not right. It's not even on the point of right or wrong. Right. It's not a moral thing. Okay? But this is the game.
Yeah, it's a game.
Okay, this is the game. So I would offer in the United States, again, study yourself for yourself. Hone your skill. If you weave up the crazy.
Right.
If you cook up the madness, do you in that way, and then on that level, you're called upon. You have value unto yourself. Now you can always venture out. You know, I'd like to sell lamps. You know,
but have that one.
But have that one thing that's
going to put you on the map.
I am the value. I am the. That's why I enjoy art so much, whether it be MCing, graffiti art, dance, this kind of thing, because it's you.
It's from you.
It's you. Dance for me. Let's see it.
Right.
If you wiggle the way we all need to see it.
Right.
This is what we're paying. We're taking photos. We're doing this. You know, this is what it. You show me a picture of painting. There was some fly craziness out here.
Yep.
You got to give me the number.
I got you.
Probably the next.
I got you.
The vendor,
Richard.
You saw the one I took a picture in front of?
It's either Richard or Ted Ellis.
I walked out. I think it was Ted. I think I saw that on the bottom of the picture.
Yeah.
I walked out of the library and walked over to this area. You were still working.
Is it like it was like to the left a little bit?
Yeah.
Did he have a tent? Did he have a white tent? Nah.
I didn't see the tent. It was Africans in white dancing.
I'll find it.
And I wanted to buy the thing, but it was too many. Oh, look.
I'll find it. Do me a favor, Simone. Text me that. Yeah, text me that.
Yeah, I wanted to purchase that.
I got
you. He wasn't there. The person wasn't there.
I got you.
But this is the point. That value comes from him.
Right.
That came out of him.
Out of him.
Okay, and now I'm looking to purchase that.
Right. Shit.
This every kid needs to know how to make a table, make a chair, sing, do hair. We may laugh at these things or look down on them, but when you talk about real economic value,
that's right.
And over a long period of time, the person who can cook and clean, you work forever. Okay, you can look down on Maria if you want.
Right, if you want.
Okay, but no, these are the staples of life. I need somebody to clean my house. I don't want to do it. I got other things to do. Boom.
Service.
Value. And if you come and the things are spit and clean, you can call it whatever you want. You can degrade the work, whatever. That person goes home cutting their salmon, knowing you ain't doing what.
Right.
This is me right now. This is what it is.
Right.
I work for the value came from me, and that's true entrepreneurship, which is also what I suggest in these times as well. America just caught on with COVID, and everybody was out of work. They said, you know what, we gotta like this.
Right. Right.
So many people,
right.
You know, people trying down all kinds of business ideas and stuff because they say, why do I want to go back to work?
Right.
What is that? Americans are waking up to it, and the thing, what's actually cool about it is that if we really wake fully up, then we're gonna have to realize that if you have a nation of entrepreneurs, the world has to become your customers. So we're gonna have to cool off with this America greatest and all of that. Humble ourselves like merchants have to do.
Ooh, come on now, bro.
And big up the customer.
Right.
You know, tell the customer this you are the thing here, and we made this for
when you
you.
say make a worldwide clientele, you mean like through the internet, you mean?
All of it, right. Internet, go there as well. African Americans are respected all over the world. America the only place we ain't respected.
I heard that.
Imagine America the only place.
I heard that.
We can't get nothing done. Okay, any place, I mean any.
Right. Cool.
Okay, any place else you go, Africa don't like African Americans. They look down, they hate us, okay? They don't, but in that way.
That's the grand, we say the grand scope.
Africans, you know, I'm just saying.
Have you experienced that?
Yes, I experienced both. I experienced Africa, the most wonderful of people, love, every respect, and then of course you get this dude.
Yeah. Right.
You know, okay, it goes both ways. No, but I say this to say that the world has to become your merchant. The world has to become your customer.
Got you.
In that sense, and be an entrepreneur. Be an entrepreneur. Make something. Express something. In that sense, don't rely just upon a job. I like a good job. Jobs are honorable work, especially if you're doing something you want to do. Even if you're doing something you don't want to do, if you're a father or mother who got to take care of a family and you got to do something you don't want to do, that's honorable work.
Right, that's right.
Okay, that's whatever you're doing, that's honorable work. You're doing something you don't want to do, you sacrifice it, but you're going to do it because so we could live.
Right.
Okay, that's honorable work. But you're never going to get rich. You're never going to be free. You're never going to have a moment's peace working for somebody else. It's never going to happen. Unless, of course, you got that anomaly. You've worked so hard 30 years for some corporation that blew up.
Right.
Those that worked for Microsoft in the early days. Those that worked for Google bragging. Yeah, Google. Their employees, somehow they got them dosed up with something, okay? They love Google, okay? That's an anomaly.
It is.
Okay. Now the rest of us, okay, are working for tyrants.
Trudging
along, and dudes not paying. You ask for something, they acting like you crazy. You putting in hours. No, your life is way more valuable than that, and that's why your question is so potent because it leads to freedom. That economic piece. This was Dr. King's last mission.
Isn't that like with the strike, the
sanitation strike?
That's when he started flipping it to economics.
He started flipping it right there and saying, "No, we got legislation, voting rights, civil rights." This and he said he called it new hills of hope. He said, "Let's climb new hills of hope." New hills of hope. It was in the "I Have a Dream" speech, and that was an economic piece. That was an economic piece. He said, no, we got to get some money. And it was black business and so on. And another thing, too, is that it's not like black folk don't know this, okay? We've already had, Black Wall Street and Hayti and Tulsa, Oklahoma, these places, and all kinds of other little pockets that racist system, our own betrayal of one another, all of that comes in and destroys the financial situation. So there's one last thing to say on this, and on this is that revolution only works for those that participate. Period. Okay, it's like spirituality. Spirituality.
Yo, that was my next segue.
Segue it.
Y'all got 5 minutes.
Cool. That sounds good.
It's Takeem's 8:30.
Sounds good.
His brother didn't come up yet.
Yeah. He was supposed to be up at 8 o'clock.
It's 8:20. And I told Hakeem 8:30.
See, he's bugging. Just call someone. I told him 8 o'clock. Maybe he knocked on the door. I told him room 1100, right?
Yes, ma'am.
1100. Yeah. All right, 4 minutes. All right. So, on your quest for service, value, for financial stability, wealth.
Yes.
Reconcile that with spirituality. One of the first things you hear, and I heard, money is the root of all evil. All right, so why should I study money or whatever? But now I'm like, hold up, man. You know what I mean? Like I would say about 7 years ago. That's when I started flipping the whole militant, anti-establishment to be like, hold up, let's make this thing work for me. So how do you still reconcile the spirituality with the financial gain and what it takes to really amass wealth? Like, how do you stay grounded in your spirituality?
You know, this is the key right here. You mentioned that,
and you can expound on any kind of spiritual.
Yeah. No. This is the key right here. First of all, the love of money is not. I'm sorry, the money's not the root of all evil. The correct statement was the love of money. Is the root of all evil. We often say.
So we got misquoted.
No. But it's a cultural thing to also say. Money is the root of all evil.
A fool in his money
will soon be departed. Okay, but there's other sentences that go with that as well. You know, so when you say spiritually, in that sense, look, the direct statement is the love of money is the root of all evil. And even that's debatable, but
what you'll do for it.
What you'll do for the money is that. But you know, a guy named J.P. Wingate, and I say his name into history as well, he once told me, he was a friend of mine, and told me, it's not the love of money that is the root of all evil. It's the lack of money that is the root of all evil.
How about it?
The lack of money is the root of all evil. I sat back.
Since it got a little juice.
I sat back and thought about that for a minute.
Let me see here.
Bam. Yeah, you stretch that out. You got it. Yeah. Well, you're a little crooked. Yeah, here we go.
That's good.
Nice. All right. So
the lack of money.
The lack of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money makes you do all kinds of things to get money. Poverty is the root of all evil. And people know this. The people, economic people, they know when people don't have, they're going to start scrounging and your whole psychology starts to wig out because you can't eat. You can't sleep. You can't hide. There's no safety when you're impoverished. So to keep a people in poverty is to deliberately make them criminals so that you could now cash in on that. It's a deliberate situation. You know, banks don't want to loan to black people. Housing don't want you to live in certain
disparities. That's right.
These disparities, poor education, health care, these kinds of things, they make you poor. And now when you're now in this condition,
you're almost like in a demonized state.
You're demonized, and physically, mentally, spiritually.
Right.
Okay, all the way down. Okay, now we're going to penalize you for being down there. When we're the ones actually putting you down there. And so,
that's the evil shit.
The only thing we have, the only thing we have is our spirit. That's the one thing that has not been broken. The mere fact that we're speaking like this right now after 400 years of terrorism and oppression, that is a miracle unto itself.
That alone, that's right.
That alone, the fact that we're still talking and say, you know what, we got to get free.
With hope. Right.
We got to get free. We still talking that 400 years. That's a miracle unto itself. They ain't break our spirit.
That's right.
Okay, you tried to. You caught off a lot of us.
Right.
But the center of us is unbroken. Here we are talking right now.
Again, the grand scope.
The grand scope, maybe it is. But this piece right here is solid. Right here. And you know it is. And you're afraid of it.
That's right.
And you're afraid of it. Now come back to the spirit. Here's what we got to realize on a logical level. Because remember, the spirit is logical, reasonable. The spirit is touchable. It's not invisible. It's us that are blind. So it appears invisible. Here's the one key piece right here about spirituality. A lot of people ain't gonna like it. Everybody ain't spiritual.
That's right.
Everybody don't have a soul. Damn, did I say that?
Yeah, you said that.
Damn. Everybody does. Now, let me candy coat that statement a little bit. Let me put a little fluff around it. Okay, everyone has a soul, but everyone is not using soul. Everyone does not exist from soul. Now, I will say, me,
I'm gonna have to agree.
everybody ain't got a soul. Let's start there. Okay? Back in Kemet, only the pharaoh had a soul. Everybody else was basically, you lived, you died, and that was the end of you. Unless you had some relation to the pharaoh. And even when the pharaoh died, people went along with him to get that everlasting life. Everybody ain't got a soul.
Wow.
Everybody ain't got a soul. We're told this. This is a Christian myth. That everybody got a soul and we all go to heaven or hell. No, we now know that to be false. And so, backing away from that myth, you now come to the conclusion. Who is God? Where is God? What is this?
Let's go with it. Let's go.
So if you look logically, just look at the logic of it all, okay?
Let's go.
The first humans, the first self-aware beings who ever woke up and said, man, I know you. Yo, and I know me. And the first self-aware beings, okay? These beings don't come from other beings. They don't, if you're the first, okay, there's no before you. You're the first. You're the first self-aware being. Where does the first self-aware human beings come from? Nature itself, the universe, the intent of the universe itself made us self-aware. Circumstances, things had to happen. Brain had to get moved. We ate something. Who knows? Whatever it was that made us self-aware. The intent of the universe itself. There's no other intent. There's nothing else happening. Forces that are not human made us human. The first humans, first self-aware humans, are us. We're not just black people. We're the first people.
It's proven, yeah.
Now it's all type of scientific and genetic evidence to prove this. But we still don't believe it. We still walk around like we're the fourth people second or the class, fifth people. Yeah. You know, beyond even second class.
Yeah. Wow.
Excuse me. Beyond even second class, we put everyone in front of us. We with all due respect to the Native Americans, okay, this is their land, okay. With all due respect to them, we revere their ancientness more than our own.
You're so right about that.
We'll look at them and be like, yo, y'all go back, and we will respect that. But when we look at our brother and sister, we say, nah, you from the 70s. You know, you from the 60s.
Slavery and beyond.
Slavery and beyond. Right. Actually, from slavery and beyond. That's how I'm seeing you.
Right.
You know, so once you realize, logically and truthfully, you are from the first beings
on this planet.
On the planet. The first writers, language, the wheel, agriculture, astronomy. This is you. This is your natural way to be.
Right.
This is your natural way to be.
Right.
Okay? This is your natural self.
Right.
You don't come from other people.
Right.
Other people come from you.
Right.
Now this is genetics as well, biology as well. They tracing everybody outside of Africa to a couple of women. Genetic Eve, they call her. African Eve.
Right.
Tracing everybody back. So we being the first people created by divine forces. There's no other
unknown,
people.
No other way to
There's no other. It's unknown.
Right.
Let's just say unknown.
Right.
Okay. If divine is too heavy a word,
Right.
unknown forces make us aware. We the first to be aware.
Right.
In the awareness, it is clear. We built pyramids, mathematics, science, law, civilization. There was no killing, robbing, and hunter-gatherer. No, it wasn't none of that. These were enlightened beings and realized, here's how we got to do it.
Wow.
You come from that. That is the spirituality.
Gotcha.
Not all this hocus pocus.
Right.
There's a certain responsibility that comes over you when you seriously understand. I am the first being. I am from the first people. I can't act like this because the first people don't act like that. I'm from the first people. I'm from divine forces. You can even take it as further and say, seriously, Where do you start yourself? And this is a spiritual question. Where do you start yourself? Do you start yourself when you come out of your mother? Do you start yourself at the moment of conception? Do you start yourself with your grandmother? Or your grandfather? Do you start yourself with the circumstances that brought your mother and father together? The circumstances, your mother and father could not, without this unknown intelligence, your mother and father could not have come together, either because your grandmother and grandfather, all the way back.
All the way back.
What are the circumstances that's putting people together, moving them in certain ways and producing you? Unknown. Now, we are moving like this. Black people moving like this. We can't explain ourselves fully. That's not just because knowledge is being taken from us. We can't explain ourselves fully because we come from divine forces. This language and this talk is never going to explain where we originally come from, ever. English doesn't even have enough words to define where we come from. Okay, so this little language we speaking right here, we work it, we try to do what we got to do, but the realm I'm speaking of is beyond words. It's a feeling and a knowing.
And a knowing, that's right.
A knowing. And with that feeling and that knowing, you produce real events and effects in real life, in real physical life. You know, you produce effects. You get what you require when you require it. You know, you don't have to beg and scrape, nothing. You move with the universe. Why? Because I realize the universe made me. This intent made me who I am. You know, what are the things that happen for me to even be KRS-One, just from a career point of view? I can't explain all of it. Sure, it was Scott LaRock. Sure, Jive Records. I could point to this and that, but MC, I'm sure it's MC Shan is a couple others. You know? Sure, it was that. But I could also say, what were the circumstances?
Right.
That chance meeting. Scott LaRock, the social worker. I'm the client in the shelter. Who thought of that? Who thought that up? I didn't think of that. Scott didn't think of that. Who's thinking that? Well, that should show you a presence.
Damn.
Right
the
there.
Spirit. That's right.
Spirit.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. It shows you. It's working in your life right now.
As we speak.
As we speak.
Right now.
Right now. The circumstances that brought us together right here. Right here. Right now.
And there's no telling where it's going to.
And where it's going. And there is no telling. And that's the mystery. You revel in the mystery. You know, you revel in the mystery school. You ain't got to know everything.
Right.
Just know the presence.
Right.
Just know the presence. Simone, what you say?
Right there.
It's time.
There it is.
Perfect timing.
I got it.
Oh, you went right out.
Perfect.